Here are 5 types of people we shouldn't help. You'll be surprised by the last one. But before we start, I want you to pay close attention to this story, as it will be very important for you to understand the great lesson of this video. In a coastal village forgotten by time, there lived a young fisherman named Luca. One day, during one of his walks along the beach after a storm, he found an injured seagull. The seagull's feathers were tangled in a fishing net, and its eyes reflected a mix of pain and despair. Moved by deep compassion, Luca didn't hesitate to help. Carefully, he untangled the bird from the nets and took it to his small cabin. There, he fed it and tended to its wounds, hoping it would regain strength to return to the sky. As the days passed, the seagull, whom Luca called Mia, seemed to come back to life. She followed him around the house and even seemed to listen when he told stories about the sea and its mysteries. Luca felt a growing joy, believing he had made a new friend he could trust. However, as Mia grew stronger, her behavior began to change. She became possessive of the food and aggressive towards other birds that came near. Concerned, Luca tried to calm her, but Mia seemed to no longer recognize her savior's kindness. Then, on a sunny morning, as Luca opened the window for Mia to feel the sea breeze, something unexpected happened. As he approached to stroke her feathers, Mia, in a sudden impulse, pecked Luca's hand hard and flew away without looking back. Luca stood there, his hand bleeding, his heart broken by the betrayal of the one he had helped and cared for. The pain Mia caused was healed with time, but the lesson stayed with Luca forever. He learned that sometimes, in our eagerness to help and trust, we can ignore the true nature of things and people. Luca would still help others, but now he knew that some creatures are meant to be free and wild, and trust and gratitude are not always reciprocated. This story reminds us of the complexity of trust relationships and the expectations we place on others, even when our intentions are pure. Luca never stopped loving the sea and its inhabitants, but now he knew he had to respect each one's nature, even if it meant keeping a distance. Now let's move on to the first type of person, but first, make sure you've clicked the like button if you're someone who loves learning about the wisdom of life. If possible, write this in the comments. In this world, we cannot trust just anyone. Let's move on to the first type of person. Number 1, the ungrateful. The ungrateful are those who, after receiving help, not only fail to show any sign of gratitude, but may even criticize or disdain the help given to them. This can happen for various reasons. Some may feel that the help didn't exactly meet their expectations, or may simply have a nature that doesn't value others' efforts. Helping someone and receiving criticism in return can be demotivating. Imagine the situation. You dedicate time, effort, and sometimes financial resources to help someone, and instead of a simple thank you, you get complaints or hear that your help wasn't enough or adequate. These reactions are not only unpleasant, but can also make you question the validity of offering future assistance, not only to that person, but in general. It's vital to understand that when dealing with the ungrateful, the problem lies not in the help provided, but in the perception and attitude of the person helped. However, this does not mean we should become cynical or stop helping others. On the contrary, it is a call to better select whom we help and understand that true help often involves emotional reciprocity, even if minimal. So, what to do? First, don't take it personally. Second, use this experience to be more cautious in future situations. Assess the situation and the person before deeply involving yourself in helping. Remember, helping is a two-way street, and simple recognition can be the fuel for future good deeds. Thus, when dealing with the ungrateful, we can learn to direct our generosity where it will be not only useful, but also valued. Number 2, the lazy. We are talking about those individuals who seem perpetually unmotivated, those who have the ability but choose not to act. They are the second type on our list of 10 types of people we should not help. When we help someone who is lazy, we often think we are doing good, giving them the push they need. However, continuous help can inadvertently foster harmful dependency. Instead of encouraging them to take responsibility and seek independence, our help can become a comfort that discourages any attempt at change or personal improvement. But how to identify a lazy person? Generally, they are people who have a constant resistance to taking on responsibilities, often expecting others to solve their problems. They may have a series of excuses ready to justify their lack of action and rarely demonstrate initiative or desire for change. Helping these individuals without a strategy can be counterproductive. Imagine, for example, that someone has a health problem and their health is that you are always available to do the work of a colleague who never meets deadlines. Initially, you may feel you are helping in a difficult situation. However, over time, that colleague may start to rely on your assistance as a certainty, not as temporary help. It is crucial, therefore, to differentiate between being a support and being a facilitator of laziness. Helping does not mean doing the work for someone, but supporting the person so they can do it themselves. This may involve setting clear boundaries and encouraging the person to take independent actions instead of simply solving the problem for them. Therefore, before deciding to help a lazy person, think about whether your help is really fostering positive behavior or simply perpetuating a cycle of dependency and inactivity. The goal should always be to promote autonomy and personal growth, not to keep someone in a comfortable state of inertia. By adopting this approach, we not only take better care of our resources, but also respect the other person's potential for growth. Number 3, the irresponsible. This group is characterized by a tendency to constantly blame others for their own failures, making help not only ineffective but also risky. The irresponsible frequently evade their own responsibilities, attributing the blame for their mistakes or misfortunes to external factors or other people. For example, if they fail a project, they may blame their co-workers for lack of cooperation, or even the management for lack of support, instead of analyzing their own actions or lack thereof. When we try to help someone who behaves this way, we often find ourselves in a frustrating cycle. Regardless of how much we strive to support them, our help rarely results in significant progress or change, since the person does not take responsibility for their own growth or improvement. More concerningly, by continuously offering help to an irresponsible person, we may inadvertently become a target for their tendency to blame others. If something goes wrong, even if it is for reasons completely unrelated to our intervention, we may end up being held responsible. This is not only unfair, but can also damage our own reputation and emotional well-being. Therefore, it is essential to adopt a cautious approach when dealing with people who demonstrate this behavior pattern. An effective strategy is to encourage them to reflect on their own actions and their consequences. Instead of simply solving problems for them, we can guide them to develop self-evaluation and self-management skills. This process may include setting clear goals and helping the person understand how their own actions lead to certain outcomes. When dealing with irresponsible people, it is crucial to remember that true help is not just an extended hand, but also a mirror that reflects the actions and consequences back to the helped person. This type of support is more likely to encourage personal responsibility and ultimately lead to lasting positive changes. If the person chooses not to accept this approach and continues to blame others, it may be better to reconsider the level and type of support offered to protect our own integrity and resources. Number 4, the manipulative. This group is especially complicated because they are masters at exploiting others' kindness, perverting sincere attempts to help to serve their own interests without any intention of reciprocity or personal improvement. Number 5, the selfish. This group is particularly challenging because selfish individuals are self-centered and tend to see the help they receive as a right, without recognizing or valuing the efforts of others. This attitude can result in one-sided and toxic relationships where help becomes a constant expectation, not a gesture of goodwill. The selfish often perceive acts of help as something owed to them, rarely express gratitude, and may even demand more help without offering anything in return. This is not only frustrating for the helper, but also creates a vicious cycle where the helper may feel exploited and devalued. Helping someone who displays selfish behavior can be exhausting and unrewarding. As with manipulators, it is crucial to set clear and firm boundaries from the beginning. It is important to ensure that any help provided does not reinforce the selfish person's mindset, but encourages them to consider and appreciate others' efforts. Having open conversations about expectations and reciprocity is also useful. Clarifying that help is an act of generosity and not an obligation can be a crucial step in fostering a change in attitude in the selfish person. If they continue to expect more without giving anything in return, it might be necessary to reevaluate the relationship and possibly reduce or stop the help, thus protecting your own emotional and physical well-being. By recognizing and properly handling situations with selfish people, we can avoid perpetuating toxic and one-sided relationships. Instead, we promote an environment where help and gratitude are mutual, which is essential for any healthy and equitable relationship. When dealing with selfish people, it is crucial to recognize that the help you offer may never be adequately appreciated. This does not mean you should stop being generous or empathetic towards others, but you should carefully evaluate to whom and how you offer support. Helping someone who sees your actions as a right can lead to feelings of resentment and emotional exhaustion, especially if the help is always seen as insufficient or inadequate. To avoid these pitfalls, it is important to set clear boundaries. This may include saying no when you feel taken advantage of, or clearly explaining what you are willing to do and what is out of the question. Setting boundaries not only protects your energy and resources, but can also signal to the selfish person that they need to reevaluate how they perceive and interact with others. Additionally, having open conversations about expectations can be helpful. Communicating directly about how you feel regarding the way your help is received can be a step towards transforming a toxic relationship into a more balanced and healthy interaction. It may not be easy, but sometimes facing these expectations can help the selfish person understand the impact of their behavior on others. In summary, when dealing with selfish people, the balance between compassion and self-preservation is crucial. Help, but do so with the awareness that self-esteem and mutual respect are fundamental for any healthy relationship. Do not allow your desire to help to be misinterpreted as an obligation, or for your generosity to be seen as a weakness. Do you know of another type of person we shouldn't help? Leave a comment. I'd love to read your opinion. Share this video with a friend who should know more about this topic. If you've made it this far, write this in the comments. Ingratitude is terrible. Thank you for watching. If you found these insights valuable, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more wisdom. And before you go, here's something extraordinary I want to share with you. NASA scientists have developed a revolutionary 7-minute audio called Genius Wave that helps unlock your brain's full potential. Imagine attracting success and happiness effortlessly. Our subscriber Nelson did just that. He rekindled his relationship and landed a promotion at work using this amazing tool. To discover how you can transform your life too, click the link in the description below. Don't miss out on this opportunity.